Hi, and welcome to No Holds Barred. I know it's me. Not Bernard speaking. Makes a change, doesn't it? Right, I'm stuck with these two again, Martin and Bernard. And tonight we're going to cover a few. Pardon?
What do you mean these two? We're a delight to know and get to talk to. You should be privileged every week, every Tuesday. You should be privileged that we're choosing to talk to you.
Listen, I'm just happy to be the good-looking one out the group.
Let's be honest, though, Martin. Compared to us two, that's not a big achievement. Right, tonight, if these two would let me finish.
Nope.
I've lost my train of thought now. Thanks for that. We're going to cover a few topics tonight and see what we think about them. The first one that's kind of come up, which I would like to have your viewpoints upon. Poor Idris Elba, I can't really believe I'm saying this. He's not black enough in the role Luther, according to one of the BBC TV executives, Miranda Wayland.
That's the
who
BBC
is a female black lady herself.
That's just the BBC all over for you. In what way?
Are we not black enough?
Black enough.
Well, the program Luther, I think it must be going for like about 10 years now.
Can't say I've
There's
ever watched
like
it, to
the
be
6
fair.
episodes, seasons of it. Supposedly he's not black enough because he doesn't have enough black friends in the show. And he doesn't seem to be eating Caribbean food.
Was he the dude with the big sword in Thor?
Oh, it depends how hard you looked.
I know he was slated to be the next Bond at one point. I know they were seriously considering for Bond, but I don't know how you can not be black enough for your own TV show.
Well,
I don't get it.
I take it.
It's the character.
Okay, I take it. They mean culturally and what things he does in like terms of his life, not the actual.
Yeah.
Okay, just to get that, just to know.
Well, if it's
where they're actually going with that one.
If it's with the TV show Luther, then isn't that up to the writers to then sort of like
you can't
bring that in?
But as I say,
if he's not black enough for the show, then culturally, then that's up to them to sort of create that background for them.
Isn't it kind of stereotyping them though? You can't be black unless you like this certain food, this way of life, or have these friends. It's
to me. I don't know.
I don't know how to go with that.
It's a bit of a touchy subject, isn't it, considering we're white. So you don't really know. So you don't really know what sort of like what you can say and what you can't. Well, I know what you can't say. But
if it's just based on the character, then like Ian said, surely it depends what way the character's supposed to be written. What's the?
Because I've never seen
the TV show, so I don't know. I can't comment on his character or the actor or anything. But surely, if it's to do with the character and it's how they want to portray him, if that's not how they want him portrayed, then surely they should just be going with that and not bothered about what some executive who gets paid millions of quid thinks.
But I think it's as Martin says, in a way, I say it's been going 5-6 seasons, but it's suddenly become an issue now.
But why? What's jumped out and made it an issue?
Well, I put it down to the BBC at the moment too. They're not as bad as fucking Disney, but they've got their problems.
Do you want to get on the Disney topic?
What's up with Disney?
Ride that Disney train. Come on.
What's up with Disney?
What's wrong with Disney? Come on.
No. I'll wait for the rant at the end.
Just be aware we are live.
Okay.
Do we get?
In my opinion, I've got to put it that way, just in case anyone suddenly gets offended. The problem with Disney is that they're a bunch of two-faced fuckers. They go on about diversity and inclusivity, but look at a certain Star Wars poster that was done around the world, but when it was taken to China, the poor black guy was made about yay size on the poster. He was shrank and stuck in the background because for some reason, I'm not saying all Chinese, but China itself seems to have a problem with black people. And Disney bending the knee to them and wanting to sell their product over there kind of made it look like he was there, but he wasn't that big in it. And they did cut scenes out of the film, include with him in. Yeah,
I've not heard none of this, to be fair, so I'm a bit like, really?
So surely that would mess up the plot and mess up the whole entire story.
Have you seen the film? It wouldn't have made a fucking difference. It was a pile of shite.
I can't say, I have to be fair.
Yeah.
I've never really seen the 3 original Star Wars properly, so...
Although I do have to say that Disney are being a bit more diverse, because if they've got that new animated Raya the Dragon thing on Disney, and she's a lesbian.
I don't know, but
and
I think...
she's Chinese, so she's a Chinese lesbian.
I know Pixar would do a casting call for a transgender character the other week. I think it was a transgender girl, if I remember right. But I've seen like a casting call for a voiceover artist for this.
I've actually got a question for you here then, Martin.
Go on.
When you're an actor,
yeah,
you act a part. You take on a role and you develop the character and you act. Do you see a problem in a straight actor portraying a gay?
Not at all.
Or someone from the alphabet community. I'm not going through all the letters.
I know. You'll be there all day.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Listen, you're playing a part. If that's what you have to portray, if you're a bloke and you're portraying a gay guy and you've got to kiss a fella, you're getting paid to do it. As long as it looks cool.
I just don't see the problem in it. It's like a gay actor playing a straight part, which has gone on TV shows for years.
Yeah, so exactly.
What's the difference?
I think I can remember. I don't know who it was. I think it's the one. No, we Rick Queer as Folk and all that. Is it? And he's just done that. It's a sin. I'm not too sure if it's in, but somebody on them lines was making a big deal out of straight people playing gay characters, and they were saying not enough gay characters are playing gay characters. Who's fucking asked?
But if you're not good enough for the character they want, then why would they hire you?
Why would your sexuality be a fucking big...
Exactly. It's like Barney, the one who played Neil Patrick Harris playing Barney in How I Met Your Mother. Straightest character you could find, but I don't think anyone else...
Proper player.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone else could have pulled off that character like he did.
Can't say I've ever watched that show either.
Oh, go and watch it. Go and watch it and just watch his performance. Like it's brilliant.
I think I've seen clips of it. I know what you mean. But yeah, I haven't got a problem with fucking straight people playing gay characters.
I understand. Say, bringing people from different backgrounds, races, culture, whatever, onto the big screen is a good thing.
Yeah.
To me, they don't have to be stereotyped into a little bracket. Surely then people can play any part.
Yeah, if they're a good actor, then they could be able to play any part.
I think that's the problem nowadays. If you tick certain boxes, you're more likely to get a part or taken on. Rather than, I think it has happened in films and TV shows now where they're more interested in ticking all these little boxes than making half-decent TV shows. Which, if you look at the ratings of certain TV shows, it's proven it. They're fucking awful.
Do you want to mention one of them TV shows? Because I've literally got it on record.
Yeah, you know it's
just to see what it's like.
Oh God, it's that's I don't even know where to start. That is a total fuck mess.
a totally different night and a different conversation.
Oh God, that is a whole rant in itself. I could go on for that one, and you should just be sitting there for the next hour. But again, that's one that's just been made to tick boxes, and they're not really that arsed about the storylines because they're nonsensical, and it must be made on a budget of about £1.
So, you know, I agree with Neil a bit. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
about
I do.
representation, which is good because, you know, you do want to see. It's like we were saying, you do want to see kind of like normal everyday people in represented on a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You know, because up until maybe 10 years ago, you really didn't have disabled actors on TV.
No.
You really didn't have them portrayed in the best of lights anyway. They were always kind of like the comedy actors or those little 2 minutes on screen where you can kind of digress a little bit or have a little bit of fun. And then they were never given like serious, proper storylines in a way.
No, I mean, I'm not having a go at the individuals. I just don't see how it is representation, fair enough. But as an actor, couldn't you play that part?
Yeah, you should
And
be
it
able to,
goes
shouldn't you?
both ways, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Don't really know what to say about that, but yeah, totally. You should be able to play both.
Do you know what? It would work a lot better if the three of us were actors. Working actors.
Well, the thing is, whether we're actors or not, we've got our views and our opinions.
Yeah. And I think totally, as I say, I don't care if you're gay, straight, white, black, whatever role you're cast in. If you're cast to do that role and you do it justice, then what's the big deal about what they are
Off screen. It's like Neil said there, over representation. You can be represented on the screen, but does it necessarily have to be represented by a person of what's getting shown on the screen, if that makes sense?
I think sometimes, depending on what it is, I think sometimes it could be better being portrayed as someone who is of whatever that character is. Just because I think they've got more of an understanding of what that character would have gone through or what they're going to go through as a character, compared to someone who maybe has to go out and do like months worth of research and stuff like that. Because you hear it all the time where actors have got to go do the research, go to these like charities and work and doing all that stuff. But
yeah,
you know,
I think
like,
if you can go off personal experience and you can put that into your character, then you know what, great. But if you've got to do the research and stuff and to be able to still get the points across or portray that character across, to me it makes no difference.
No, it doesn't make a difference. But I just think for like certain type of characters, you know, you like if someone had maybe cerebral palsy and you know that character's gonna, or something like that. At cerebral palsy was just the first one off the top of my head. But I would rather see that portrayed by a person who did have it, because you get more of a genuine feel.
Yeah, I get that. With the likes of disabilities, I get what you're saying, and I think it would be very poignant for somebody of that disability to be able to, if we're talking about as an acting job or whatever, and they're an actor, they've got it, and they portray that character, yeah, perfect. You know, I think then they've cast the right person for it, and say, because they know what a person like that would go through. But I don't really know how somebody who wasn't like that would be able to sort of portray that character, because the movement wouldn't be the same, or
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's why I think it's like it's dependent on the character that they want. It's a bit like what we were saying earlier. Like, you know, if Idris Elba, is it? I never know. Never know his last. I never pronounce his last name. But like saying like his character isn't black enough. Well, that's not a thing on him or his character. It's on the writers. Whereas like, you know, bringing someone else in to portray something different, like a disability or something, you kind of have to stick with, maybe a person who has got that.
Yeah. I think
yeah.
if it's like a specific thing like that, as you're saying, like cerebral palsy, you'd need to get somebody who has that condition, and then for them to do it justice.
Yeah,
because
it's like when you cast, say, like I think, for example, like the character of Ben Mitchell in EastEnders, that character is deaf, but from what I know, it's not portrayed by a deaf actor.
It used to be when he first come in years ago, when he was like about 10, 12.
Yeah, I remember he was.
But as I think the characters got on older, or they've changed them or whatever.
Yeah, because he's been changed
more.
quite a few. But it's then like there's a character in Casualty who is actually deaf, and will actually use which is quite good, use sign language in a role or as her character, which I think it's a nice way to actually start getting sign language into it, because you never really see it.
Yeah, because you don't see that, do you, really? Unless you're watching something on a Sunday morning, you see that little person at the bottom going
10 to the dozen. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, my attempt to sign language is fucking diabolical.
So, I think it's on that. They're coming into a show where they're being, how can you put it? Their individuality is being brought into a show and encompassed by everybody else in the show. It's not a show just about them.
No, it's entirely like they're all thrown into the mix together.
I think to make things appear more normal, it's kind of, instead of having a separate show about their race, their gender, it should be like real life where everyone's in together, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
It's not a separate show for their issues, which isn't a problem doing. But to get things normal, because you see people every day in the street. So shouldn't TV shows be portrayed similar to that?
So it's like what we said the other week. Like they should do, but get the ratings. You want to real life, do you?
I mean, it's all the beautiful people going through everyday problems that we'd go through, or whatever.
Like you should know, because you've worked within TV studios, haven't you? So you've seen it firsthand.
Exactly, but you know what? As I say, because I will for that, they do have some like this. As I said, they do have like disabled characters in there now, who who are mainstream.
Yeah,
I mean, and there's one of the girls called Amy. I can't remember what character she plays, where she's in a wheelchair and you know what? She's got, as I say, she's mainstream, one of the main cast, and she's fantastic.
Is awesome. Brilliant.
But as I say, 10, 15 years ago, that wouldn't have been the case.
No.
And it's only been in the last couple of years that they've really sort of diversified the characters.
Especially with her character, because she's gone through actually some major storylines, like with the child, the fiance dying on was it wedding night?
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch it, but
I watch it. I'm sad, but yeah. So in the last few years, she's actually had some big storylines which you would never get, apart from the only time I think you really get some big storylines out of that type of character is when they first come in and you just see them, developing the character and bringing in their little secret or their secret whatever.
They've got to have something going on in the past that's going to come back and haunt them.
And then they just fizzle out. Then they're just that character in the background where like she's had some major storylines since she's come into it.
That's what I mean. I'll give Hollyoaks its due. They have diversified their cast massively. Since when I first started there was as I say, Brookside. There was only one black guy on it, and that was Mick Johnson. There was only him. There was no other. Maybe and like 2 others. That was it. Hollyoaks was the exact same. There was no black characters. It's only as it's gone on through the years that sort of like. Because didn't have any black people.
Because I think you only have like Calvin in like the late 2008.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But like they started bringing in more black characters, Asian characters, and you know, as I said, give them props. They've diversified, and
I do have to, you know what? I do have to give them one brownie. No, for is when one of their characters got beamed up by an alien.
You what? Sorry, no, hang on.
No,
what?
Honestly, I don't know whether you remember.
I can remember.
Do you remember this fella?
I do remember it.
He was really geeky, and he was in the uni, like in the uni halls and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember him?
I do remember him. He was a proper villain, by the way.
Was it Carmel that he was trying to get with?
I don't know.
Carmel McQueen.
Yeah.
The really ditzy blonde one.
Yeah.
And somehow they had a relationship. I don't know how. Really punching above his weight there. But then it was his exit storyline was him getting beamed up by an alien. And that was it. He was gone. He was gone after that.
I think the fucking writer must have been on drugs.
If I remember right,
I'm not really sure where to go with
if
that.
I remember right, that was his exit storyline. He was getting so obsessed. Do you know, like where like people like put all tinfoil in the room and everything when they think aliens are listening to them? I think that was how he went. And then the storyline.
He was right.
He was.
He was.
He was. His exit storyline was just him looking up at me. Ooh, and then gone.
Boom.
That was
gone.
Gone. Never seen of or heard of again.
Thanks.
Their cast is like a revolving door. I don't know how many casts they get through a year.
Do you know what, though? It used to be a running joke. Do you know when the bill was on? Whenever any one of the cast was leaving, you'd be like that, see it on the bill next week?
Yeah.
And without a doubt, they were always on the bill. It was kind of like
or the other way round. All the bill casts were coming back. Although, the bill is coming back.
I know. I've heard that one.
As Sun
Hill.
Hill.
Be made up.
Coming back as Sun Hill with...
yeah, it's got some of the old cast members in it.
It's got three of the old cast. It's got Jim. It's got... who was the woman? The blonde woman who was with Jim. I know her real name's Trudy, I think.
Did she play Jill?
I can't remember her name. I'll have to have a look.
If anyone knows, let us know.
I'm sure her name was Jill.
Jim and the other one.
Reg.
It's like one of the three main longest cast members. Those three are coming back. And apparently, it's going to be called Sun Hill.
See, that'd be quite interesting to see whether or not how they write the stories.
See, that's the thing with when they try and remake stuff. It's always
Tony and June. It's June. Olivia's just told me. June. Thank you.
Awesome.
I knew it began with a J.
It's whether or not they start telling stories or they come on and try and preach to you.
Yeah, I hope it's just like it was, because I did actually quite like it. Until they started messing with the schedule and changed it every few weeks. It was like Brookie before that ended. That was on so many different times and nights and everything until they did the omnibus on this Saturday night.
Which is what killed it off, because you never knew what time to turn on for it.
No, luckily I did. We used to have a little tiny TV in the corner of the bedroom and I just used to stick it on about 11 o'clock at night because that's what time it started. So...
Okay, that's kind of gone on for a strange topic, but yeah, interesting. Everyone's now waiting on for the bill to come back on.
Well,
yeah. I think another thing that I've seen on the news this week is over the protests of the COVID in London. The people all doing the march, which it looked like a happy little march. I don't think there was any reports of violence or anything on it. But, I mean, where do you stand personally on the likes of the situations that's going on with the COVID? I think we've all got a little bit tired of the restrictions and the lockdown. But
yeah, I can't wait for all.
Necessary.
I can't wait for all these bleeding. We don't have to wear masks anymore. We can have people in our houses. I mean, I get the whole social thing, but I don't understand what the whole point of a march is. That's the only thing I don't understand, because if we're in this middle of a pandemic And are these people who are saying it doesn't exist? Are these the
From
people who
what
are
I can
martyrs?
see, they're not happy with the restrictions. They're not happy with wearing masks.
Yeah, but no offense, neither are we all.
But you know,
I'd rather not. Go on.
This is the thing I don't understand about the marching. If they, you know, what do they think it's going to prove or change? Because nothing's going to happen. They're not going to change it. But I mean, not being funny, everyone can march down the fucking street and say it doesn't exist or I don't want to wear a mask. And they're just going to get fines. And then, if you know, luckily we have got the vaccines now. So it has slowed it down. It's got it down to a safe level. So you know, they can march all they like. But when we were in the middle of it all and shit was really hitting the fan, it was just making us go into another lockdown even longer because all these fucking dickheads clubbing together and just marching down the streets and protesting in town. They're the reasons why we went into lockdown, because it was sending COVID cases through the roof.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
in their, I'm not defending them in a sense, but in their defense, when you've got the government saying, oh, well, you like for Christmas, for example, I was happy to have people around for Christmas. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
You know, I was happy to share a bubble. But when you've got the government saying, oh, well, for Christmas, you can mix, and then we'll go into another lockdown. Actually, no, they didn't actually say that. That was Wales, Scotland, one of them who went into lockdown on Boxing Day. But, like, when they're going in a few weeks after that, they're like, oh, well, we don't know why the COVID cases have spiked. Well, you do.
Well, obviously, because let
everyone to mix for a week. Or, sorry, 5 days, as they put it down to. And then in a few weeks, you're wondering, oh, why is this spiked again? It's like when we came out the first lockdown and they were like, oh, yeah, go out and eat out to help out, all that rubbish. And then in September, they're like, well, now we've got to go into a lockdown because you've gone out and you've spent time with people, so you need to.
Exactly.
So why put that initiative in?
We've kind of done what you told us.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest with me, if they'd have turned round at the beginning of this and say, look, this is unprecedented, we have no idea what we're doing, really. We're kind of making this up as we go along because we don't know. I'd have been more fair enough with you. I understand.
Yeah.
You've never done this before and you don't know what's going on. Just be honest with us. I think that's where people might have responded better.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with on that one. If they'd have just, you know, held it on and said. But to a point, I think they said they did, and they started following the science or whatever they called it, and you're like, trying to, I don't know, as they say, trying to see what was what, but everything skyrocketed. The bleeding COVID cases and everything went through the roof, and thousands of people were dying a day or whatever, like 1,500 people at the peak or something, was it? But
like they were saying, those deaths, to be honest, at one point they weren't including care homes. At one point they were. At one point, well, at most of the points, it was the cases that reported every day were people who would have had COVID within the last 28 days of their death. But if you were, say, for example, had COVID, recovered, got hit by a bus, you were put down as COVID.
Yeah, one of my friends' dads who passed away, sadly, you know, during the pandemic, he died of cancer, but they put it down on his death certificate, COVID, because they weren't doing any autopsies.
Do you think they inflated a lot of the figures then?
In the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think a lot of them figures are higher because of how they are reporting them and how the way in which the deaths are getting reported. Like I said, if you did get hit by a bus, your death wouldn't be hit by a bus.
COVID.
Because you've had COVID within the last month. It's like when my mum passed when I was doing her birth certificate, death certificate. I was waiting for, well, is it COVID related? And I was ready. I was already ready to like attack and be like, it's not fucking COVID. It's not it. No.
Like, I mean, saying that, I mean, I'm how can I put it? I think it's been a really serious worldwide pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at it
I
in
think
India now.
governments have made mistakes, but that's easy to say in hindsight. But I think a lot of the stuff they should have done a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the airports.
Yeah,
Locking
they
the
should have shut
airports
us down a lot quicker.
after everyone had already come back or gone out. It was kind of like, well, it's like locking the stable door once the horse has bolted. You kind of missed the time there.
I mean,
I think that's why Australia and New Zealand have had such success. I know Australia, I think a few weeks ago, did have little outbreaks in places, but on a whole, they're like us. They're an island. They are secluded from everyone. It's not like Germany or France, which have got connecting countries. Apart, like the only ones we've got is Wales and Scotland, and they're on the same island. You could easily just close us off.
I mean, when our death rates more in the UK than what the whole of Europe were together?
Our death rates were, I think, at one point one of the top 3.
Yeah, like
highest death rates.
That's what I mean. So, but that's our government for you. They're such a bunch of pansies. It's like, oh no, we don't want to upset such and such, and we don't want to upset this country. Why? That country doesn't give a flying fuck about us. They tried to stop us from
closed their borders down anyway.
Exactly. They tried to stop us from the EU. Was trying to stop us from getting the vaccines because they didn't believe in it at first. And then, they seen the success rates of the AstraZeneca. They were trying to block it from coming in because they didn't see it as fair that we were getting it when our country put in X amount of orders, like months ahead of them. And they were kicking off about it. I'm like, well...
I think that was just business for us leaving the EU.
Yeah, because that's it. That's all it is. It's political, isn't it? Because of Brexit.
And I think that's where, like, a lot of, the mistakes and stuff have happened is because it is political. It's they are just trying to warn up each other, I think, sometimes.
And but I think that's the only good thing about Brexit that I can see at the moment is that the fact that we've got a better vaccine system going on at the moment. Because if we were in the EU, we wouldn't have half as many as what we would have because it'd have to be distributed around however many countries are in the EU.
I mean, because I understand the financial problems it's put on this country and a lot of the businesses that have basically gone out of business. And
it's like
I feel sorry for them.
It's like totally. Us personally as well, because we've got our business and we've not been able to run anything for the last, year and a half?
Yeah, 18 months.
So it's hit us hard as well.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, we're lucky enough that we've got other income.
Yeah.
Not solely reliant on that one, because that would have been devastating. So I can kind of understand the financial problems it caused every time you went into a lockdown. Maybe, as you say, that could have been another hesitancy why they didn't do it straight away.
I mean, it's just, I think if they'd have just done it like the way they should have, like other countries done it, I think it wouldn't be so bad as it is now with like businesses closing and all these stupid lockdowns. Oh, you can't open. No, you can't open. It's
again,
so, but you could talk and say you're black and blue about it, couldn't you?
Yeah. Can I just ask for anyone watching, you lovely 6 people, if you've got any comments on it, please throw them in the post for us. Or if you want to come on camera and just have a little natter about it for a minute.
Yeah.
Then
come on, talk to us.
I'm going to post the link in the comments. So please feel free. I'll just throw one of yous on screen or whatever, and you can literally have a few minutes with us.
Can we vet them beforehand just in case?
I'll see them on screen before they come up. Oh, no. Yeah, go on, you're all right.
No, quite. That'd be good, actually, that one.
Yeah.
I mean, a bit controversial. I think these people that don't believe in that the vaccine's real and don't want to wear a mask and quite happy to congregate with whoever, take their names and register them. And if they do develop something, it's your own fucking fault.
Yeah, true. That's the thing. Do you know what I mean? And I think, because I was watching the news this morning, and there was an NHS nurse. She organised, a protest, about the NHS pay rise.
Yeah.
It was all peaceful. They were social distance. They had masks on and everything. And the police came, and they would told her to disperse it, and she did. She shut it down, and it was very, as I say, there was not violent. She got a 10 grand fine because of it, and she shut it down. Yeah, this is the thing, and with the fines and everything, people.
But you seem to hear the ones that go out with masks and cause trouble. You don't hear about them getting fined.
No, it's always the ones that saying and this is the thing: a fine to a rich person is fuck all.
Yeah,
a fine to a person on minimum wage or somebody's bloody works in the NHS, and this is one thing I don't like. I think, the nurses have to pay £120 a year to be able to be a nurse, or I think it's a bit more. What the fuck have they got to pay that for?
They've got to pay to be in their job.
Yeah,
is it because you've got to? Is it because you've got to register to the I can't remember the like a council or something? I know it's not.
So yeah, but why the fuck?
You've got to be on the register to. I'm sure you've got to be on the register to be a
but
nurse.
Surely, if you're going to do something like that, because I suppose it's got to be governed in a way. One-off payment.
Yeah, but they've got to do that yearly.
Keep doing it each year.
I'd rather pay that for a nurse than pay me fucking stupid TV license.
What do you think about the increase? The increase in wage, because England got a 1%
and Scotland got 4%.
Scotland got 4%. I'm not sure whether Wales or Ireland did anything. I'm not sure. I've not seen.
I know Scotland.
What do you think about?
To be fair, it's a fucking kick in the teeth for the year they've had. And to be fair, to be in that job anyway, I think it'd be one of the most stressful things it could be. I mean, because I know
to be in the job at that point in time.
Experience of be going in with watching parents suffer and stuff, and what they have to do. I mean, from the porters to the people who are having to bed bath, everything. I don't think I could do that job.
No,
I don't think I could wash another person. I mean, I washed me dad. I went, but that's me dad. I'd do that, but I don't think I could go into that profession and then wash a stranger. I don't think I could do that, or change.
No, I couldn't do that.
Change the bedpan, whatever. I haven't got that sort of where I'm very caring, and I'd love to help. I'd love to say, oh yeah, I could do that. It takes a special person to do it. And what they go through, I think, for what our government gave them was fucking disgusting. And it was a fucking insult.
You're going to lose that on your fucking tax.
Yeah. Isn't 1%
not really getting it?
Pay rise anyway?
It's like the equivalent of £3.50 a week.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you know what
they fucking do?
Do you know what really annoys me is that third year student nurses were asked to go in during the pandemic and basically do a job that they're not yet fully qualified for anyway. And you've still got to pay the student loans. If that was me, I would have writ off their student loans.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think our government is fucking stupid. It's backward.
As some sort of, because I don't know whether they got paid. I know I've got a few student nurses mates who I could ask, but if they're not getting paid for that and they're doing that out of, service basically for country and whatever, surely
you want some recompense.
Would be white, or at least even a year worth of death would have been white. That I would have even lived for that.
I mean, what the fuck was a clap every fucking Thursday for? That was just. I mean, we're all going, well done.
Probably people moan at me.
I get it.
I didn't clap because I didn't see the point.
I mean, I did. I clapped. I did that first.
No, I didn't.
I did that
because
first.
I just didn't see how that was helping them.
No,
I'd rather just say to them, "Look, thanks, well done," than stand on my doorstep giving it. Okay.
Do you know what? I think at first it was done in a nice, appreciative way, but then as soon as the media got hold of it, because for the
turned it into something else.
Yeah, Because for the first week or two, all I saw on Facebook was, "Oh, we're going to clap on Thursday for this," and then you see ITV saying, "Oh, we're going to stop our programming for 5 minutes so you can go and clap." As soon as they start
jumping on the bandwagon,
yeah. Well, that's the media for you.
Especially when Boris didn't do it the first. I think he did 1, 2, 3, maybe, I don't know, but towards the end. But when you've got your leader of your country not even showing appreciation, even if it's just for clapping, I know it's, for me, pointless because it does nothing. It shows appreciation. Whoop-de-doo. It's not helping them in their job.
Listen, if they want to, you want to help them, fucking pay them more. Pay bloody. Stop them having to pay this stupid fucking whatever it is a year that they have to pay. Fucking stop paying.
I think also with the likes of
TV licenses.
With the likes of them, there's probably too many people. How can you put it? Too many chiefs and not enough people actually on the ground floor. Too many high players that are probably a waste of fucking time.
I mean, and let's say that the MPs, did they get their pay rise of like, however, of course, they're 25%. I mean, so they got what? They're getting their 100-odd grand a year, so 130-odd grand a year.
I think if I remember seeing it right, they got what, maybe an 8 to 10% pay rise, and the NHS got 1.
Exactly, and how's that fair?
I don't see the point.
No.
I mean, because let's face it, MPs, weren't they all on lockdown? So what the fuck were they doing?
And they're not even all back yet properly.
Oh, so they're all getting fair.
It's like with, because I will admit, like, I work in a school, so the first lockdown I didn't work, so props up. I'm glad I had that time off because I needed it. But even for like our sector, ours is only like the same as the NHS. We don't get a lot from our pay rises. It's what, maybe a few £100 in your pay packet for the year.
Well, I'm on minimum wage. I get pay rise when the fucking government says I get one.
Literally, same as me.
Mine's not amazing.
Mine's just gone up. Mine's just gone up 20p an hour.
Oh, fucking terrible. But that's say they'll give you the one hand, but they'll find another way of taking it off.
Oh god, yeah. Listen, fucking hell. I got that 20p extra an hour. It'd be fucking taken off me in tax.
More? You get more taken off you in tax?
I think the problem, though, sometimes with the likes of the minimum wage, when they say it's got to be this amount, everyone's like, oh, yeah, minimum wages are going to go up. But then you'll find shop prices and food all go up.
Yeah, because the cost of living goes up.
Your cost of living doesn't go up enough to support the pay rise of like the energy companies and places like that.
Exactly, and then you'd have to do overtime to sort of like boost
to get
it up.
that money back,
and then you get taxed more on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of see
it. Wherever way we do it, we're all screwed, basically.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. I mean, I found with these 3 lockdowns, the first one was a bit of a novelty because you were suddenly off work and it was like, oh, long holiday.
Plus, it was going from spring into summer.
Oh god, and the weather last April was fucking gorgeous. So no one give a shit.
The second one was a bit now. I think the last lockdown hit me a lot harder than any of the others.
I mean, to be fair, though, I was in work all the way through it, so I never got really didn't really see the benefits of it, to be fair. But do you know what? It's fucking horrible. And all these jobs, people have lost jobs and people are being made redundant, and it's fucking stupid.
Yeah. I mean, because I was kind of lucky because I went on furlough, so thankfully I still had a job, but I still lost 20% of my wage.
Yeah.
But I still had to find that money for my bills because they didn't go down 20%.
No.
So it was a fucking struggle, but yeah, I suppose you just have to get on with it, don't you?
That's it. You just also throw you in the shitty end of the stick.
But you don't see a help out for the people who are going to suffer, and like you said, you lost 20%. Luckily, like for me and Martin, our wage kind of stayed the same.
I mean, do you know what though, right?
No, you already owe me 20 quid.
What a mate.
My hubby was on, as I say, he went on lockdown, so his job shut down. His furlough was more than what my actually monthly wage was.
Fucking hell.
And I was like, and you know, it was kind of like, it wasn't his fault, and don't get, it's not his, not his doing. But there's me fucking killing myself, trying to do all these extra hours, and what I was getting, he was getting for sitting on his ass.
That's why you had a lot of decorating doing this last time, wasn't it?
Granted, don't get me wrong, I come home and he had my meals cooked for me, had the bathroom for me, the house is spotless. But
there you go. Stop moaning.
It was just a bit of a fucking kick in the bollocks. There's me killing myself, and he's sort of like sitting there still getting more than me.
I mean, that's one thing.
I know that Liam's watching because he shared our video. Hi, Liam. Martin really loves you.
I do. I'd be lost without the bastard.
Oh, charming. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'll have to stop putting Randy in that. Oh.
Where are we off to next?
Oh,
Disney?
No. Holding off on the Disney just yet. We got any comments of anyone or?
Olivia just put the reason she was getting a second job is like we said, cost of living.
Yeah. Doesn't anyone want to?
I'm gonna have to do that one.
Yeah, he says everything's going.
Doesn't anyone want to come and talk with us?
No, they're all being shy.
They've met us before, that's why.
You need to start. No, when you were talking about your business, you need to plug that for it while we've still got a minute or so. Plug your ghost hunting business.
There you go. You've just done it for us.
No, anyone who wants to come on a ghost hunting trip with Bernard and Ian, they are really good.
Or if anyone wants any psychic readings, tarot readings, mediumship,
plug that.
We're also doing that. We've got our other pages, Trinity Spiritualist Group and Trinity Paranormal Team.
So you've got to shamelessly plug it wherever you can. And now, fingers crossed, this year you'll be able to start, doing more ghost hunts and stuff. And I'm looking forward to coming on the first one in July.
Well, hopefully, hopefully that all starts up.
Yes, hopefully. Please.
I can't wait.
I kind of miss it. I
can't wait to go into the gash.
Fair enough, but what about coming on a night with us?
A night in the gash with Bernard and Ian.
You know what? You've been in worse places.
You know what? That's a completely different TV show altogether.
Oh my god. To be honest, I think that's the two subjects I've covered.
So we're on to your rant of the week.
Do we have to? Oh,
yeah,
God,
I hate it
when you do that. Right. This is from Martin, sort of getting back onto his Disney thing. Okay. This is probably not going to make sense to some people, but Gina Carono is back. Right. Anyone who doesn't know the story should definitely check out the social media. It's been a weird one. Okay, well, she was fired from The Mandalorian because of her supposed political views and tweets she made. However, she has never openly gave her political views and tends to keep them to herself, which she is entitled to do so. So what she thinks or anyone thinks is their business and nobody else's. So that's the official version. The reality was she wouldn't bend the knee to Lucas Disney. There you go, Martin. Said it for you. What I mean on that one, she wouldn't support the things they said or did, and this got her in trouble with the dickheads in charge. I think the worst part was that they fired her over social media. They didn't have the balls to call her. I think they did actually they tweeted her. Well, not even her directly, just saying that she'd been sacked. I mean, how bad would that be? Can you imagine finding out you've lost your job by a tweet or Facebook? You'd go off your fucking head. But as I say, she's back. Disney took down an episode featuring her with Bear Grylls in one of his survival specials. And whether through pressure or whatever, they got that episode actually taken off. But because of the fans and the way they retaliated, that show has actually been put back on. The episode is now going to get shown for them. And she said how excited she is about it and how much she is overwhelmed by the support from the fans. What I find really funny is how Disney are always going about supporting strong females, but dropped this lady as soon as they found out that they couldn't control her. So, in my opinion, well played, Gina Carano, and I'm made up that she's come back for us. There you go. That's it. That's my little rant over Disney yet again.
Imagine that. I mean, to be fair, though, if you got told you were sacked by a tweet, that's like, you can take that to the court straight away and go, that's how they sacked me. Sort that out.
Really, isn't it?
That is.
It is. Can you imagine waking up tomorrow and you've got an email or... Then again, over the lockdown, wasn't it? I think I might be wrong, or I'm not too sure on this. Didn't Weatherspoon sack most of theirs by him?
Yeah.
Or laid them off?
He sent them a video telling them all to get a job in Tesco because he isn't paying them.
Oh.
Hence why I really never want to go in a Weatherspoons again.
Yeah. I mean, that...
But let's face it, how much money has he made in the last few weeks since bloody the pubs have opened? Because he'll have had loads of beer gardens.
Exactly, but yeah.
That would fucking destroy them. Imagine you're getting up in the morning, getting your stuff ready for work, putting your stuff on. Your phone goes off and it's like, oh, don't bother it, by the way. Like, what?
Do you know what? I'd be more, like in her case, I'd be more annoyed that everyone else knew before me.
Before you. Yeah.
If I was
that's how she found out. Somebody else sent in a message saying, do you realise you haven't got a job anymore? And she was like, what? And he actually sent her the tweet saying she'd been laid off. Because
is she an actor?
Yeah.
She's in The Mandalorian. She was in, I think, The Fast and Furious. And she was in Deadpool. If you see it, you'd recognise her.
Mm.
Is she in Deadpool? Is it Deadpool 2? Was she the one where she was the lucky? She said her superpower was lucky, being lucky.
No, one in the first Deadpool, she was kind of, I hate using the word, she was the sidekick to the bad guy.
I'm trying to think back to Deadpool because I love that thing. It's hilarious.
She had the dark hair, and I think it was like the scene I always remember is where Deadpool's like, look, she's gonna do the.
Sorry, I just threw that up.
Oh, that's bad.
That's bad.
Apparently, she's the MMA fighter as well. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's where she does the superhero landing on one knee, and Deadpool makes a big thing out of it. She batters the big silver fella.
What, Colossus?
Yeah.
I'll have to go and watch that now.
I hope I just haven't spoiled this for anyone who hasn't seen the film.
It's been out long enough, hasn't it?
Well, there's still people out there. But I just think it was bad the way she's been treated. And then they just tried to hound her off every other show. Because if you look at the tweet she sent out, there's nothing bad about them. They were taken out of context for some people, but they weren't having a go at anyone. They weren't racial. They weren't nasty. She was just putting certain things out. I think it's never been officially said, but she was a bit of a Trump supporter. And at the time in Hollywood, you just weren't allowed to be that, especially for Disney and Lucas.
I mean, let's face it, Trump should have been assassinated.
I don't know. They're not having such a good time with Biden either, are they?
I don't know. I thought he was doing all right.
That poor bastard needs one of them chairlifts to get onto his own aeroplane.
Why has he fell?
He fell 3 fucking times in one go. I mean, fair play. The fella's getting on a bit. Somebody should be there helping him up.
Yeah, he ain't going to be president much for long then, is he? Isn't he about 80?
86? I mean, he's still going. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I give him his due, but do you know what, though? I'm not being funny. They should, when it comes to stuff like that, there should be an age cut-off.
Yeah, let the poor buggers retire. There you go.
Oh.
There
That
you
was
go.
quick.
Sorry. There you go.
Oh, look at the poor fella.
I do feel for him. 3 times he
Yeah.
fell, and yeah.
I mean, I think there should be a cut-off, because I'm not being funny, not and say, okay, if he's 86, he's still got all his faculties. He doesn't look 86, to be fair.
No, he looks
doesn't
good
look
for his age.
He looked really good for his age.
Mm.
But what happens?
It kind of makes you think, though, is he just being used as a figurehead? And there's other people pulling the strings behind him.
I honestly think he's being
knows.
used to bring his vice president in. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to get maybe a year or 2 out of it, and then swap some health concern or whatever.
Who is his vice president? Isn't it a female?
Yeah.
And isn't she a woman of colour?
Yeah.
As they call. Well, good. I think it's about time, female, say it doesn't matter what colour you are, where you come from, what you can do the job.
I think that'd be brilliant. I mean, it goes back to it, doesn't it? Where we say if you're capable and able to do the job, to me, your colour, your race, your gender doesn't come into it. If you're able to do the job, you should get the job.
Yeah, and I should take that back then. If he is, capable of doing it, doesn't matter regardless of his age, really.
Yeah.
So I'll take that back.
They've had worse presidents.
Yeah, fuck off. Let's look. I mean, as I say,
just look at Bush. Just look at Bush Jr. That was comedy. That was just comedy. That one.
Didn't he cause the Gulf War?
What?
Didn't he cause the Gulf War?
Yeah, the bit
with the help of Tony Blair.
Yeah, but
and these weapons of mass destruction, which I don't think they ever found.
No, comedy-wise though, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, the thing is, they're there to run a country, not to make you giggle. There's a problem when we do that more, especially when there's a superpower.
I think Robin Williams doing his stand-up show would beg to differ.
Yeah,
I'll get the
clip.
Got
a lot of weight out of that one.
Get the clip, because I'm thinking, what did Robin Williams do?
No, he was doing a stand-up gig. It was around maybe 2006-ish. But it was as Bush was leaving. I think it was 2004 even. It was as Bush was leaving, and he was just like, no other president has given you so much comedy material to use and to take the mick out of. But it was like, he waved to Stevie Wonder, which I know Ian said to me in the past, it could be general waving, but to me it's just like, hi Stevie, and that's just an insult because he can't see you.
I'm not defending him, but his natural reaction when you see someone, you wave.
Yeah. But it's still funny. Right. I'm waving at Stevie Wonder and he can't see me.
Actually see you waving at them, but yeah, that happens. That's the type of fucking stupid thing I'd do.
Oh,
I would, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think it was also like he opened a library and he said, we'll help our children learning.
Oh, the grammar's amazing.
Yeah. So, comedy material?
I don't know. It's like all these teachers, if they lost the answer books, they'd all be knackered.
It's a good thing I never look at the answer book. I work it out myself and get it wrong.
I've seen your spelling.
Spelling. Oh, well.
And I've got to proof check everything before he publishes it. That's wrong.
Hey, it's even worse when I do it, then you proof check it, and then someone says, oh, that's still not right.
In my defense, I'm just going to say I never actually read it.
In my defense, I never actually read it. I just typed it and thought, hope for the best.
You know what? It looks right. It'll do.
Yeah. Google said it was fine.
Oh, that Google's got a lot to answer for.
And Microsoft Word, it's on the US dictionary. Colour without a U.
I get all my information from Wikipedia. You can't go wrong.
On that note, fellas, we are coming to the hour mark, so I think we will bid good night.
Well, good night. Thank you.
Chatting to you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
If everyone could share our videos, like our pages, comment, We're on Facebook and YouTube. We are on Twitter. Don't really use it. Maybe abandon that one. And there goes our YouTube.
Okay. Twitter full of no. That's a different rant.
That's next week's rant.
Probably.
Like our videos, share our pages, and just get our awareness out, just because we do want to promote the mental health side of things, and just get those conversations started. We have been No Holds Barred. We have been Bernard, Ian and Martin, and thank you and good night.
Goodbye. Good night.
Good night.